We're back in the New York groove. We're back in the New York groove. You
Yeah,
know
I'm
what I'm
not singing.
saying?
I'm not singing. So
You know what that is?
I do not, and I don't want to scare off our viewers.
That is a tribute to Ace Frehley, former
Boo.
guitarist of Kiss, who passed away. That was his solo song, Back in the New York Groove. So sad. The 7-year-old in me is very, very upset right now. So I'm going to wear my King Diamond t-shirt today, even though Gene Simmons told him he couldn't wear his corpse paint the same way he used to back in the day. But anyway, this isn't a music show. This is a gambling horse racing show. I'm Frank Scatoni, and I am joined by my co-host.
Oh, Ciaran Thornton. I thought you were going to say the name this time. I mean, you're just out there writing stories with your mouth. So blah, 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 blah. You actually get bonus content today. I guess the starting gate got broke, so we get to tell everyone who's going to win the first leg of the pick three. I know I have the winner. Who did you pick in this one, Frank?
We laughed about this because I wanted to go do what you did, but I didn't. So let me call up my pick four right up real quick. I have the 2 Strong Morals as a B, but my A's are the 5 Priscilla, the 8 Southern Anton, the 12 Remember April, and the 14 Chica Tigre. But, Ciaran, this race is impossible.
Yeah, so you know who's going to win it, though? Whoever the robots decide is going to be the favorite is going to win this race, because I'm all in the first leg of the pick three. Although I didn't see number 2 being the favorite. I'm kind of shocked. But, I mean, when you looked at the morning line, the favorite was 9-2. So that told you this race was like, yikes.
Yeah, that was a horrible morning line. Here's the first line of my write-up. Strong Morals was 4-5 in her debut at Del Mar at this level, so she must have been working well, but she set a very fast early pace. She wilted and finished last. Now she comes back with a different jock without the blinkers. I mean, she was 4-5 in that race for a reason, right? So that 15-1 morning line was absolutely absurd, but she's going to set a fast pace again in this race. There's a lot of speed. 14-horse field filled with unreliable animals. I want no part of anyone who's less than 5-1 in here.
Yeah, I mean, I did all, and I'm like, okay, so now I'm cheering against the horse I thought I might get 5-1 or 10-1 on. So, I mean, I actually thought we'd start seeing some jockey bets, where where they start picking the jockeys, like JJ's horse. I mean, it's all the way out on the outside, but
right.
I mean, still not. He's got drifted up 9-1. Usually when you get a race like this, you'll see the money follow the hot jockeys around. We're not even seeing that,
So wait, you're telling me the one with JJ, the JJ horse was 9-2 early in the betting, and now the horse is what price?
9-1. I'm showing.
Wow, let me get, my goodness, 14 horses. I guess we're getting ready for the Breeders' Cup here. Yeah, Chica Tigre was 9-2 in the early betting, and is now 9-1. Wow, they're all over the map here, but I think you're right, Ciaran. The computers will let us know. Well, I wonder what happened because of the delay. 2 minutes to post was like 10 minutes ago, right? So when did they actually cut them off?
Let's see if he's actually a legit favorite in the probables. What's the double pan? Who's getting hammered with the 2 into the next one?
Well, in the will pay is the 2 is from the last race to this race. If you have the 2 in the double, you're getting 22.40. That horse is the favorite in the will pay. Second choice in this race is the 5, the 8 and the 5 and the 12 are all about $30.
Yeah, and the 2 into the 1 in the next race is paying 19. 2
That's
into the
favorite,
4,
right?
Yeah, is paying 42. So I mean, I'm looking around at the will pays, and even though we've got a 5-2 shot in here, I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen. So
no, I tweeted that out actually because I always like to see from race 7 into race 8, like who the favorite's going to be. And the board was jumping all over the place. Like at one point, I think the 12-1 was the favorite double combo. Now it's the 2-1. But I think we can agree that the 1 is going to be the favorite in the next leg. Do you think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
But untrustworthy. Like when you show my bets, I mean, I had some confidence, and the last race is where I'm gonna, make my stand. But I mean, I could have gone a lot of different ways, but I wasn't sure enough on the one to hammer just the one.
Well, Ciaran, since we're getting bonus coverage here as they go to the gate, this is the start of the $3 late pick 3, and I know you played it. So why don't you tell us what your play is so we can root for you?
I did all with 1, 2, 4 with 3.
Okay, well that reflects the way I saw you bet the late double, and we'll talk about that in a second. Ciaran seems to have a very, very strong opinion in the last race, which is good because we like strong opinions. Let me roll through the comments real quick. Paul Victory, pick 3 time. Absolutely, Paul. If you're putting in a wager, let us know who to root for. This race is inscrutable. I'm not surprised that the 2 is a lot shorter than that 15-1 morning line, but 5-2 seems a little short to me in this field. Scurvy Tooth, hello DTL crew, happy to see Malibu Coast back. All right, well, I think we'll talk about that horse in a little bit. Here we go.
And I'm looking at the pool money right now, Frank.
Yeah.
And there's $20K to bet on the number 2, but there's 14.7 bet on the number 12. So the number 12 looks like it's the second choice, clearly.
Is this in the win pool you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the win pools, yeah. And I mean, there's already 100K bet into that pool, so
the 12 is 4-1. I don't think we're going to see much odds changes here because the CRWs will show up a long time ago. So it looks like they're all about the 2. I know you went all in here, Ciaran, but did you have like a horse or 2 that you like?
I went 4 deep, and I went 6, 8, 9, and 14 were my 4 horses if I was trying to go cheapo on the ticket.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I went with Diego. What was it? Number 8, Southern Anton. I really didn't like the 12. I went with JJ on the 14 out there. I mean, my notes were, if JJ's riding for this dude, must mean something in a race like this.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, horrible post, but if there's a jockey who can navigate it, it's this dude. So,
yeah, I mean, it's just such a crazy field. All right, they're almost in the gate and ready to go here. This is going to be a really, really slow race.
I think if we get a crazy price in this one, Frank, we might see some big money in the double pool. We do not want the favorite to win this race. I think we don't want the morning chalks to win, because if they go down with a big price in here, I see our double pool being a lot more than what it possibly could be.
Yeah, Ciaran, that's something you noticed early on during the Santa Anita meet. Not so much during Del Mar, because the field sizes were a lot bigger. But if the favorite wins the first leg of the pick 3, everybody's alive, so
and they don't bet the double as much. I mean, they're still betting it. The numbers are up over last year, but I think if we have a big price in the early pick or in the pick 3, the first leg, you'll see the double really get hammered.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. That's logical. All right, they're off. Good luck, everybody.
There's Chica Tigre on the extreme outside, and here's Strong Morals flying through on the inside. Strong Morals up to take the lead. Sheer Lightning now moves up to be alongside Tina's Princess, and they're followed by Chica Tigre now 4th. Then comes Priscilla in 5th. Remember April mid-pack, racing on the outside of McKenna Moon. A River Elation is next, about a half length in front of She's Back. It's 2 more back to Clam Beach outside Southern Anton. Then it's a big gap to the next flight. Joyriding, Easy Reward is second to last. And at the back of the field is Donald's Homily. They're approaching the quarter pole. And
come on, we want this 2 to fold like a cheap suit here. Come on.
Tina's Princess second. Priscilla is down on the inside 3rd.
Come on, beat this chalk.
Is next. And just inside of her, remember April. 4 lengths clear of She's Back. They're in mid.
Gate to wire. Unreal.
Strong morals making amends in a big way today. Strong Morals. Trump.
Well, that's going to be another pick 3 I win where I lose money, Frank.
Wow, did the money knew. The money absolutely knew on that horse. Yeah. I mean, look, I like I said, the horse was 4-5 at the same level in the debut. Ran way too fast early and got tired. Papa Padromo shortens the horse up, takes off the blinkers, and just
Every time I do the all ball, a favorite wins, even on these really bad conditions. It's like annoying. And now this is going to hurt our double probably.
Well, we can't let previous results affect how we're going to go forward, right? I mean,
we're going to fire away. We're absolutely firing.
Yeah, I just, I'm a little annoyed at myself that I didn't make this horse an A because I have it as an A written on my program. But I just thought there would be a lot more speed challenging this horse. And apparently this horse is just way better. Let him
get an easy lead and never, you know what I mean? If the 10 or if JJ wasn't so far out and was able to, be on this back hind, he might have forced the issue a little bit more, but who knows?
Well, I think I'm only going to have one note out of this race. Anti-key race. I do not want anybody coming out.
Yeah, and this horse.
This race. I mean, this horse won by like 8.
And it got claimed. There'd probably be like 45 handshakes for this one.
Unbelievable. And look, the 2-1 combo going into the next leg, the probable was $13.60.
Oh, wow.
So really was the favorite.
That really dropped, though, late, Frank, because it was showing 19. So it dropped the third.
Yeah, that's a big difference. That is a big difference. Yeah, so whoever had the 2 here, including Ciaran, congratulations. So who finished? A 45-1 finished second. And then
it was actually, when we went into the turn, I thought that 45-1 horse was going to swallow the 2, I was hoping for a repeat of the 2's last race where he just faded, but no such luck.
No, the two found another gear today. And, I think it was smart for Papa Padromo to take off the blinkers on a horse who had shown that much early speed last time. And also, Ciaran, I know, we've been up and down with Mirko De Muro, but I think we could both agree that he is an upgrade over Ruben Silveira.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the only downfall on that one was Papa put the horse back in a 20K race, and then second career, he's horrible. He's only like 6%.
Yeah, so that's right.
It almost seemed like please don't bet me. But then I guess word got out, bet me. So
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the horse was 4-5 in the debut at Del Mar. I mean, that's just crazy. So, I'm sure they're very happy with the win, and it wouldn't shock me if somebody like, Steve Knapp came in and claimed this horse. So nice little payday for the connections there. But this isn't called pick 3 trouble. This is called double trouble. So now that race 7 is in the books, it's time to get a little serious, Ciaran.
Yep,
we are riding high off us both hitting the late double on Sunday when we were together at Santa Anita Park. Maybe the dynamic duo have to be live and in person for us to both do well.
Perhaps. And then, we had the open bar there. So then we started doing some really stupid bets where we actually lost money when we won. Doing our job to support the track.
We were having fun. We put in a little communal caveman pick 4, trying to hit a home run with some bombs. And same thing happens when you play the all ball, right, Ciaran? It comes chalk.
I mean, I even said it on the show. I was like, I pretty much talked. And I mean, he wasn't 15-1. I would have been okay with one of these other 9-2 favorite winning, not a 2-1 in a field like this. That's annoying.
It would have been so much better if this were the middle leg of the late pick 3.
Yes.
Because a lot of people may have shied away from that horse because of the 15-1 morning line. Because the horse took so much money, everyone who's playing the pick 3 who wasn't going to use that horse said, oh man, I better throw this horse in. I don't want to get knocked out of the first leg on a horse who's getting, bet off the board. So that kind of screws everything up in terms of pays and whatnot. But, we have two races left to go through here. We got a $40,000 open claimer contested at 1 mile on the lawn. Rails are at 30 feet. We see this race a little bit the same and a little differently, Ciaran. I thought one horse in here had a significant pace advantage over the other horses, especially with the rails out 30 feet. That being said, there are some very strong, legitimate closers in this field who have proven time and again that they know how to come from the clouds and pass horses to win. So one of those horses, actually both of those horses, the 1 and the 4 are both closers, and they're both on your ticket.
Yep. I mean, when you see JJ hop on a small stable, I mean, Ranford's been around for a long time, but when a jockey like that gets the call, and Silvera had rode this horse a bunch of times, they drop in class, blah, 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 JJ's on. I really wanted to love Beef Winslow and hammer it as my single into the next race, but Rispoli for Hess, top power, drops in class. They're risking it for the claim. Always at the line, occasionally wins, but the trainer's 0 for the last 12 when it's second start with him. So I was like, there was enough negatives for me to split my double, kind of weighted a little bit more, $50, because I've got a horse I really like in the last, and then number 4 as my backup, slightly smaller. But there is a long shot I really like in here, and that is the number 2 Malibu Coast. Fresh shoot for O'Neill. I think we should get this price. What's funny is a year ago, this horse was pulled up and on October 12th and actually put in the equine ambulance, off for a long time, then came back and did a bullet work 1 year to the day of that race. So really? I was like, oh, interesting. And then if you look, there's been nothing but bullet works for this horse. Fresh shoes riding. And I thought this is the money ride for this horse today. And that's why I couldn't just hammer it. And I thought I'm probably going to get a decent enough price where I don't have to bet too much on it, and I'll still get paid if I'm wrong about this.
Yeah, well, we'll see what kind of price you're getting if this horse is taking any sneaky money. But back to Scurvy Tooth, who shouted out at the top of the hour, happy to see Malibu Coast back. Let us know why you like Malibu Coast. Do you have any, connection to the horse, or are you just a fan, et cetera, et cetera? But it's nice to see that Ciaran is landing on a horse that a member of the DTL crew is excited to see back off the long layoff. I'm going to talk a little bit about that race myself and how I see it. But first, David Milliken. Thanks for joining us, David. Yeah, with the rails being out, I'll give my opinion, then I'll let Ciaran give his opinion. But typically, with the rails being out so far, forwardly placed horses have an advantage because the closers, think about centrifugal, the further out you are, if the closers try to make a wide sweeping move when the rails are already so far out, you're at a disadvantage. So speed typically does better. Not saying closers can't win. It all depends on the race shape and the type of horse. But in this particular race, I really thought that number 5, Crosby Beach, had a significant pace advantage and a back class advantage. So I saw this horse making the lead with Tyler, who's a very good front end jock, and forcing the deeper horses to maybe try and keep up with him a little more, and perhaps taking the starch out of them late. But that's how I see it with the rails out. Ciaran, do you have a different opinion? Does it matter that much to you?
It does. I mean, what you said, but the rails being where they are won't make me not use a particular horse. I mean, I might look a little bit closer. Again, it all comes down to the horse,
Right. I'm with you. I'll upgrade a horse instead of downgrading a horse. Right? Would you agree with that?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Okay, so we kind of see it the same way in terms of the rail settings. Leah, thank you for joining us, Leah. Love Beef Winslow. Would rather see him go down the damn hill. Anytime Honor Code has a baby running, I'm in. Yeah, I think Beef Winslow is a very good, very honest horse. Ciaran and I are both using the horse. Thank you for joining, Froggy Mushroom. Scurvy Tooth, just a fan. Okay, cool. I love that. He's a fan of a nice, hard-knocking allowance horse. Thank you, Scurvy Tooth, for that information. Nice pick, Ciaran. Froggy Mushroom, more detail about the rails and what dictates how far out they are. Yeah, I think we kind of touched on that already. 30 feet out is the farthest out they go at both Del Mar and Santa Anita. And the turf course is a lot tighter. Therefore, closers, if they try to go outside, they're going to have to, the centrifugal force is going to carry them a lot wider. And if they try to stay inside, there's a lot less room to maneuver because the pack is a lot closer together, because when the rails are at 30 feet, the lane is like this. When they're at 0,
Yep.
it's like this. There's a lot more room to maneuver. So
And some of
that's
these
just
some of these experienced jockeys know that. Like, I mean, I told you the story about Mike Smith when he tried to block off Gold Phoenix in the Del Mar handicap, because he knew he came from behind and he tried to shift his horse over so that he would block the rail, but did it too late. So these guys know, how this plays.
Yeah, you're right. That's actually a very, very good point, Ciaran. We don't often think about it or even maybe see what's going on or understand it, but there is race riding going on here. The jockeys aren't just necessarily riding their horses. Sometimes they're riding other horses. And if they can box in the favorite and force that favorite to either lose momentum and have to back up and go around or wait for a spot, they're giving their mount a better chance to win. So absolutely good discussion.
They're all friends in the jockey room, but when they get on the turf course, they're racing for money.
That's it. All bets are off, man.
Yep.
Especially in when you talk about Gold Phoenix. I mean, that's a stakes race we're talking about. There's a lot of money at stake. All right, so Leah wanted to see Ciaran's plays again. Walk us through your plays one more time, and then I'll put up my plays, and we'll talk a little bit more about this race and the next.
I thought it was, I think it's a 3-horse race, but I didn't love number 1 enough to make it my sole bet into the next race. I thought, there was a lot of reasons for the number 4 with JJ on, but as a long shot, I really liked number 2. So with the pricing, I don't think I have to bet a lot. So I get to hammer a couple of, the first and second choice here, but I've got another choice. Actually, we should see what the will pays are. I might even change the bets. If it's paying where I'm losing money again, maybe I'm going to have to make a stand.
I have them up here. Tell me what combo you want.
Let's do 1 with 3.
$29.
That's not too bad, times 25. Oh, and then how about 4 with 3?
Hold on, I got to mute Peter Lorre here. Sorry. Hold on. 4 with 3, Ciaran?
Yeah.
42.
I've got it 8 times, not too bad. And then 2 with 3.
148.
Twice. All right, so I'm looking with all my bets, I'll get about 280 to 300-ish, which I'm okay with because I just felt like I couldn't hammer Beef Wilslow more.
Okay. Now, what about Malibu Coast? I know you're using on you're using on one of your double plays. That horse is 6-1. Is that worth a win bet to you as well, or would you press with the double?
No, because I'm alive on pick 3s. I don't need to,
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't need to spend any more money. Now, there's a bet I was debating because in the next race, you'll see I'm all about Debbie's Girl. JJ riding for Baltus, drops in class, protected, bullet works, top closer is a stalker. I thought the race set up perfectly for it. So 3 is my shot in the next race. But I did have a note here that I might do a small double. 1, 2, 4 with the number 2 Cosmic Heat in the next race. And the reason I like that one, Fresh You for Erton's on fire. I mean, he's bad with first timers, only 3%, but he's winning almost 40% of his races. So how do you toss one of his horses?
Well, here, let me help you decide. What are the combos? I'll tell you the probables.
We're going to do 1 with 2.
1 with 2 is 135.
How about
actually, co-third choice. So that horse is taking money.
Okay, 2 with 2.
247.
And 4 with 2.
218.
All right, so it might be worth my while doing a $10 saver bet there.
You want to do $10? Let me change that then. Hold on. Yeah, I thought that horse was a little sneaky myself.
The stats weren't there, so I thought I might get the sire wins almost a quarter of the time, first time. The bloodlines are good, but Erton has been uncharacteristically cold with these kinds of horses. But he's winning everything else under the sun, so why not?
Oh, he's hot. I mean, it's ridiculous. And, when he goes to Fresh Shoe, that's usually a live combination.
And he's not just hot here in California. If you watch his horses back east as well, he's hot back there too. So it's transferring all over the country. All
right, let me put up my plays. Just real quick, Terry actually handed me a very good note. about the rail settings again. Did they do them random or are they for a reason? Well, they moved the rail settings out to preserve the turf course. So if they kept them in the same place all the time, the turf course would get chewed up, especially the inside lanes. So they moved them out to protect the inside lanes, have the grass grow back a little bit, do a little more maintenance. So that's why they moved them. It's not random. They're typically on a schedule. Santa Anita has a short meet this time, so they can do 30 on Friday and then they can go to 0 on the weekends if they want. That's up to them. Typically on big race days, the rails are going to be at 0 because you want your quality turf horses to all have a fair playing field. But like Del Mar, for instance, has a set schedule. So they'll go 0, 12, 24, 30, then come back and do it all over again. So, but you should always check. It's in the program. It should be in your racing form. And it could come into play. And I thought it came into play in here perfectly. Originally, when I looked at this race, Ciaran, I did not like Crosby Beach. Claimed off Mullins for 50, needed some time off. Now Knapp brings the horse back for 40.
I looked at this horse really hard. And before it was a toss, but Tyler's starting to ride well. As I said, I would use him. And I came really close to using him. If Malibu wasn't in here, Crosby would probably be my third choice where I'd be doing that bet that I'm doing with the twos. But I wanted to hammer the other two more, so I had to toss them. But that was just how it came down.
I get it. I think we felt the same way. Like we both looked at it really long and hard because we weren't sure what to do. You ultimately decided against. I ultimately decided for. Originally, my top pick was Beef Winslow.
To help you, Mullins' first time claiming is 40%, Frank.
No, this is Knapp. Knapp claimed off. I'm sorry, Mullins claimed off Knapp. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's 40% first time claimers. So the stat when he claims and puts them back in, he does it for a reason,
I know. It's just looking at this horse, it's very dubious, right? Comes up a long layoff, runs half a race, gets claimed for 50, needs a couple of months off, and then Mullins drops him to 40. Now, that's not so bad. If it was 20, I'd be a lot more worried, but I have to just believe that Mullins figured out what went wrong in that last race and has the horse right, because talk about a guy having a good meet. Mullins is 26%. To your point, Ciaran, Tyler's riding really, really well. Mullins and Tyler Bays used to team up a lot together back in the day, and they would win a lot of races. So I ended up on this horse because I'm going to trust Mullins to have the horse right, and I'm going to trust Tyler to give this horse an aggressive ride out of the gate. And, turning for home, I could see this horse being 4 lengths in front of everybody else. Beef Winslow and Cason are very, very good closers, but they're closers, right? Yeah. Cason's best race, 2 back, needed a mile and a 16th. I think the shorter distance might end up hurting Cason. Beef Winslow was just very, very honest. But I think they might have too much to do. So
I think if Crosby goes to the front, JJ's going to sit just right next to him, just stalk him all the way around and maybe pressure him to go faster than he wants to, which could set it up for Rispoli as well. So, this is going to be a jockey's race for sure, I think, today. Yeah, I think, I
don't know. I think maybe someone like Uncle Happy with Diego up has more of a chance to go. Malibu Coast back in the day had a little tactical speed. Again, that was another horse I was on the fence on. I ended up tossing, you ended up using. And my reasoning for this was very simple. Even though the horse has back class, and before this horse hit the shelf, Malibu Coast was running against far, far better horses. But I went back to his last win, and his last win came in a $30,000 non-winners of 3 lifetime conditional claimer. This condition is so much better than that. So it seems like the horse is getting a class drop based on those allowance races, but in reality, this is probably where the horse belongs. And I was just worried about the long layoff with O'Neill. I know you said the horse is working really well, but my stats say off this kind of layoff, he's only 4%. So that scared me off a little bit.
Now, so you like number 4 in the next leg. I guess tell us why you like the 4. Who do you like?
I'm with you though, Ciaran. I do absolutely like the 3. The Debbie's Gal. I think the 3 is probably the most likely winner, but I think that horse is going to be overbet, and we can look at the pays in a second and just see how short that horse is in the double. Number 4, Can't Say That, was off slowly in her debut at Del Mar. Likely just out for a spin. Papa Padroma does not win first out. To your point, Ciaran, he doesn't win second out either, but we just saw him win. We just saw him win second out in the last race. So. Look, he takes off the blinkers, which was a good move for the horse in the last race. I really like that Rispoli bothers to stick around. I'm expecting a decent effort today. I think the horse is better than the horse showed in that debut race after that really, really bad beginning. So I was just trying to be a bit of a wise guy because I didn't want all my action in on the favorite. I wanted to spread it around a little bit because I don't feel as strongly about Debbie's Gal as you do, even though I do think that horse is a legitimate favorite. So I'm doing a $25 double 5 with 3-4, then coming back a $15 double with Beef Winslow, the 1 to the 3-4. And then I'm coming back with my 1 and 5 here, but the next race is they're 2-year-old fillies. They're not exactly the fastest and most reliable horses on the grounds. And this is one of those weird maiden optional claimers, right, Ciaran? What do we always say? Read the conditions.
Yeah.
This is the condition. This race is for 2-year-olds, fillies that have started for a claiming price. I don't think any of them have. Or that were an RNA. They were reserve at auction, which means they didn't meet their reserve price. So they had to be bought back by whoever was selling the horse, or sold for $150,000 or less. So we're not dealing with your typical straight maiden special weights. If you're just looking at auction prices, the 10 specialty cost $150,000 back in April as a 2-year-old. So she clearly has ability, and she's probably pretty fast. Otherwise, she wouldn't have sold for that much. But you're looking at a trainer who never wins first out, right, Ciaran?
Nope. 0 for 26.
Yeah, so that's kind of hard to support, even though your boy Gonzalez is up. Ricky, Ricky's aggressive. I would not be surprised if Specialty ran a really, really good race. And then, you have like number 9, Liberosio, phenomenal trainer, doesn't have a lot of first-time starters, but is capable. This horse is by Good Magic, who cost $125,000 sire stud fee. Yet I don't think this horse met the reserve, so that's probably why that horse is in this race.
Yep.
This is a race where you have to really, really dig deep and look at the conditions and look at the auction prices and look at the trainer stats. So, it was very hard for me. The horse I actually liked the best was the 7, Ryan Hansen's horse, but it's hard to win at first out going 6.5 furlongs.
This is a very tough distance. Off the bench, first time,
Right.
A lot of times the trainer's either deciding, am I going to cut back or route next out based on this race? So more times than not, it's let's see what we got.
So this horse 7 costs $100,000. So this is a nice horse for Ryan Hansen. Yalpan the sire is off to a phenomenal start. I mean, very precocious, do terrific. Ryan Hansen is really good with his first time starters, knows how to get 2-year-olds ready. Terrific horseman. If this were 5.5 furlongs, I would absolutely love this horse, but I'm a little worried about 6.5. So that's why I came back and just used the horse in a saver double, 1-5, also with the 1, the 6, and the 7. The 6 is Papa Padromo's other horse. And then the 1 I thought was a little sneaky just because, that Turf Mile was just an educational run, right? That horse wasn't in it to win it. Talk about cutting back in fitness, right? Going from a mile to 6.5. That's a big, big conditioning play for me.
Trainer's 0 for 19. Trainer's 0 for 19. Second career race.
Okay, what about turf to dirt?
Turf to dirt, 10%.
Okay, and what about sprint to route?
Route to sprint, 22%.
No, sprint to route. Sprint to route. I'm sorry, route to sprint. You're right. Route to sprint. 22. Okay, well. There's conflicting.
Jockey with trainer 0 for 2 in the last 2 months.
Okay. Well, that's why I have the horse.
And no works here. I don't know. The trainer had this horse working out at Del Mar, but then didn't spin it across the track here at Santa Anita. So,
yeah, I mean, that's total backup plays. They're on the course. Let me roll through some comments real quick, and then I'll let you, Ciaran, have the final thoughts before the race goes off. Mr. Guitar, thanks for coming back and joining us. Dan H. is on vacation, and yet he's tuning in. Oh, my God. Perfect attendance, MVP, gold star. Can't thank you enough, Dan H. Win or lose, that's right. You're still on vacation. Winning. If you're playing the race, let us know who you're playing. Here we go. How about this, Ciaran? Mr. Guitar says Santa Anita favorites are winning at a 43% clip. That's not good.
I think I saw that for some of the other tracks, and it seems to be all the tracks where the robot money's coming in and hammering it. I don't know if it's coincidental or what, but
yeah, Keelan's getting a lot of backlash for that. Mr. Guitar is going to play 1-5 with 3-8. He's got a Hess Firster in the last. Take a look at that one while I roll through the comments here.
Kyle Frey, I did look at it because it was a really sharp bullet work, but Dan has 3 winners, 3 starters, sharp work, but Hess is 2%, first timers 8%.
Yeah,
2-year-olds, blah blah blah. It cost $40,000 in auction. You know, no stakes winners on the damn side. So I went through that pretty quickly. I was like, nope. I had laser focus. I was like, if the 3 does not win this race,
you're not winning.
I'm not winning. And I'm even looking at the pays, and I'm like, I wish I could just hammer one horse in this double into the 3, but I just couldn't. And I think that would be the only way for me to get a nice score versus what I'm looking at. If I can get out.
They're about to go off here, so good luck, everybody. They're off.
Quickly, and Crosby Beach is right in between those two. Here's Uncle Happy now coming through to take that second spot. 3 more back to Beef Winslow. Kaysan, who had more speed out of the gate, is settled toward the back of the field, just outside Malibu Coast. And it's another 2 lengths to the trailer, Cathal. Around the first turn, Uncle Happy, Crosby
going 22.
These two have sprinted 6 lengths clear as they swing on to the back stretch with Harson in third. Then Beef Winslow settled at the rail, a half length to Kaysan, 3 wide. Malibu Coast and Cathal. Coming toward the half-mile pole. Crosby Beach, a little hard to handle. He is extremely keen on the outside of Uncle Happy. And those two continue to go at it up top. Just behind them, Harson and
if anyone goes, it's going to be the 3, Uncle Happy with Diego up.
3.5 lengths off the lead.
I'm surprised how far Kaysan's back.
Malibu Coast next to him.
I'm not. The horse is a dead closer.
Although I think Rispoli's going to pull his turf magic here up the rail.
Yeah, I'm going to need the 1 here because the 5's cooked. The 3 totally jacked my 5.
It's been a very good trip for him.
Come on, Rispoli. Get us
Looks like
home.
he's got a ton of horse.
Winslow
Come on.
Uncle Happy.
Smoke him.
On the outside, Harson is next. They are followed by Kaysan and Malibu.
Wow, 2 dead.
Lights out
Nothing.
Beef Winslow, much the best under Umberto Rispoli.
Wow.
And ridden to a 4-length easy score.
Oh well, I should have just hammered it, but there was enough question marks, Frank. But I will grade myself on this race as a C+. I really should have just hammered $100 double, like I was thinking from the get-go.
Well, yeah. Funny, Ciaran, because that was your first thought. My first thought was Beef Winslow couldn't lose this race. What do we say? First thought, best thought?
Yeah,
we both
which is what I thought.
You cut your bet in half, and I ended up with Crosby Beach as my top pick. So.
And this is when for me, Frank, handicapping the last race went against me because I handicapped the last race and really loved, Debbie's girl. So then when I came into this one, I already had the mindset of I can spread a little.
Right. You don't want to get knocked out, right? Because that was your top
if I'd probably done race 9, this race first, I might have said, okay, Beef is there. Then again, who knows?
Well, I mean, you're still alive for, better than I am. You have a $50 double, 1-3. I have a little more coverage, but I only have a $15 double, 1-3, but I also have a 1 with a 1-6-7. So I'm alive. I'm alive to the 1, 3, 4. I have more outs, but if you're right about your 3, you're going to make a lot more money.
And I'm alive on a $10 double to the 2 on that backup bet I did. So, which was paying.
That is correct. So you're alive to the 2 and the 3, right, Ciaran?
Yeah. So the one with the 2 was paying 133, so 260 on the probables. The one with the 3 was paying $25, so times 20, 25 times 10, 250. Looks like all my bets will be, my wins will all be 250, which is I get out of the day, you know.
All right. Well, we'll look at it once it becomes official. We'll look at all the will pays. Yeah. Here's the thing, Leah. Sorry about that. Yeah, the rails were out, which made the 3 stick around a lot longer, but they went way too fast early. And
yeah, wait. And the horse.
I did. Go ahead, Ciaran.
Frank was saying the horse was very keen. Crosby was very hard to handle and very keen. So if you're making a note, maybe next out, maybe
or
not.
I mean, this horse might be just toast. Was terrible last night. That was my concern. I was trusting Mullins to have this horse right. I think he did his best. There's a chance that this 6-year-old just might be done. I mean, that was a bad race. That was a really bad race.
I mean, the owners are calling down going, did he get claimed?
I don't think anybody I would be shocked if anybody took that horse. Let me see. Would anybody – maybe Beef Winslow was probably the only one who got claimed out of that race would be my guess. Malibu Coast would be tough. Uncle Happy.
I was disappointed in Malibu. That was a pretty poor race.
Well, I mean, the horse is coming off a really long layoff, and it's not O'Neill's thing, you know. Well, look, the horse that had the least question marks won, Beef Winslow.
Yep.
First thought, best thought. Ciaran should have had $100 double, and I should have had Beef Winslow as my main pick instead of my secondary pick. But
also, hey, Mr. Guitar, check Mr. Guitar's message about the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, we could talk about that.
Yep.
I mean, I understand their feeling is with so much liquidity and such big fields that even with the CRWs in the win pool till a millisecond to post, we won't see drastic odd shifts. They're probably right, but what if they're wrong?
We were talking earlier, and I was like, Frank, I mean, it might suck for us because it's usually a great betting day, but it almost kind of might be good if we do see the odds change on some horses during the Breeders' Cup, because that would really bring the focus down on what's going on. Like if you can move the needle on a pool day like that, that should tell everyone what they're doing. I mean, I'm sure if you watch the races today, everyone was up in arms at Keeneland. There was an exacta, you know, it was at 40-1. I don't know the exact prices. Bombs.
It was yesterday. Yesterday it was a $91 horse to win, and like the place horse paid $40, and the exacta paid like $250.
Yeah, and these are like
$2,000.
Yeah, these are ones that make when you actually land on them, because you probably spent a lot more than $250 hitting them. That makes your month, and those kinds of scores are getting destroyed right now.
Keeneland lost so much credibility this meet. I mean, they went from being the darlings, the golden boys, nothing wrong. Now it's Keeneland fatigue. Everybody's over it. Like they're players like us, and the ones who have like us who have a voice on social media. They're fed up. They're absolutely fed up.
And Santa Anita and Del Mar did the players right. I think we might see some, more action come this way, like it should be always.
And some people like Andy Asaro, Andy's been around the game a long time. I really respect his opinions. He doesn't necessarily deliver his message in the most, in the most polite or tactful way, but he's usually pretty right and spot on. And he was basically like, after the Breeders' Cup, I'm just not going to bet anymore. And I tried to engage him. I said, Andy, look,
play the low takeout bets.
I said, you know what? It's not taking your money away. It's reallocating your money. Because if you show up with your money in these retail bets, they're going to give us more of them. So we need to support them with our money, not withhold handle. We need to increase handle on wagers with a 15% takeout and tracks that cut off the CAWs with 2 minutes to post. And I get it. Right now, he's very frustrated, and I don't blame him. A lot of people are. And if I had that exacta at Keeneland yesterday, I would quit the sport. I would absolutely quit the sport.
I'd be
they
so
stole
mad.
money. They stole money.
And I mean, Del Mar's coming out with a $2 pick six, so that was great news as well. So I mean,
Yeah, I like that.
We're starting to go back, and some of you be going, well, I can't afford those bets, but those higher price bets, when they dropped all those bets, it actually woke up these robot bettors. I mean, let's go back up the ladder with the higher prices and the low takeouts, and they can still hang around, and the tracks can get their piece of it, but we'll actually get a chance to win as well with these low bets, low takeout.
You have to change your minds. I agree with you, Ciaran. But for people who say, "Oh, I don't like the higher minimums," you have to change your mindset, because right now they have conditioned you to be a lazy handicapper and just throw in extra horses for 50 cents a pop.
Yep.
Force yourself to be a better handicapper, and instead of just throwing horses in, be more focused. And you could get away with playing a $32 pick six ticket and still give yourself a chance to hit it if you are a better handicapper. They have conditioned us to become lazy.
Yeah, those 50-cent ones, you'd be like, well, I got 3 singles. All right, I can go all in 2 races, and my ticket's 140.
Exactly.
Versus,
I don't even have to look at them. I'm just going to go all.
These are the guys who used to do single, 2 horses, you know what I mean?
Yes.
$30, $60, $70 and hit them.
Ciaran, that's my point. That's exactly my point. Yeah. Oh, now I could play a $72 ticket and have 40 horses instead of a $72 ticket and only have 18 horses or whatever it is. We've gotten lazy, and they've conditioned us to be lazy, and that's only better for the CRWs because when you have all in those legs, even if you have the longest shot on the board, the computer players are going to have that combination way more times than you're going to have it. So you're not even going to get paid off your 50-1 that you bought. You just need to be a better handicapper.
So, Frank, the pick 3, I'm going to lose money for the second day in a row.
Oh, my goodness.
The pick 3, $63. Pick 3 is paying $63. The double is paying $25.50 on the 3. Pick 4 onto the 3 is paying $44. Pick 5 is paying $168, and the jumps are like every pool $800 or $981 on the. Actually, the pick 6 is a little weird. Guess who the favorite is on the pick 6? That makes no sense. 3 is paying $981. 1 is paying $153. That cannot be right.
No, that's 5 and 6, Ciaran.
Yeah.
So carryovers to the 1 and the 8. Ciaran, the late double pool today, 131,000. I'd say that's pretty good for a sleepy Friday.
Oh yeah, especially with if we'd knocked out that other horse, in the first leg, not being the program favorite. I can actually look and see what it was last year.
Why don't you do that? I'm looking at the will pays again for the double. Ciaran, based on the double, it looks like the 3 can't lose because the 3 is paying 25. The next shortest is the 6 for $127. So 3 to 5 on Debbie's gal. While you're looking that up, I'm going to keep rolling through the comments. Yeah, trick-or-treating. I know. It's always Halloween. It's so weird. Just move it a week ahead. Let the kids have their fun, Yeah. Scurvy Tooth, correct. There's no 2-minute. I agree. That's what we were talking about. Our man Chris, happy Friday. Alive to the 3, 4, 6, and pick 3. Excellent. Good luck. Sorry, that's my computer. There we go. Good luck, Chris. Thanks for joining us. I know work gets in the way of fun. Darn that work. Mr. Guitar, what happened to race 2? Yeah, that's what we were talking about, Mr. Guitar. That's the race that Ciaran brought up. How is that possible? How is that not $2,000? I mean, it's absurd.
Now there is some other mechanics, like it's all about what's in the win pool or in the exacta pools, and the odds of the 2 horses don't matter based on the pool money, but it just shows you that these guys have every possible combination covered multiple times.
Ciaran, the rule of thumb up until about 10 years ago, before the CRWs invaded us, was if you wanted an estimate of your exacta pay, you take the win price and you times it by the place price. I mean, it's just the way it's always been. And yeah, it's not going to be exact, but it's going to give you a pretty darn good idea of what you can expect. And I'm telling you right now, $248 is not what you should have expected. It's thievery. It's absolute thievery.
And the longer they let it go on, the more you're going to hear people saying that we're back in the 1920s with the invention of the telegraph and the past posting where they, the results, from the West Coast.
Like the Sting.
And putting their bets in.
Like in the movie The Sting. They've got their own fake bookie operation going on. But you know what, Ciaran, you're right. I mean, for there to be massive change in this sport, something egregious needs to happen on Breeders' Cup Day. I mean, I don't want to see it as a fan of the sport and, on the biggest day of the year, but these races are on national TV. And if you're going to have some people being interviewed and going, well, when I bet the horse was 5-1, and then now what? I'm 7-5. What does that mean? How is that possible?
Now, what may help is, we got the Breeders' Cup betting challenge with everyone firing away. 500 people spending another $500,000 essentially almost every race.
Well, that's going to be funny, right? Because you're going to have,
and those guys are going to start being very vocal.
Well, yeah, but think about it. It's basically going to be guys like Matt Miller are playing $1,000 double and completely affecting the market compared to the CRWs who want to come in and try and correct that market, right? So, because you're going to see some overbet combinations based on some very sizable BC wagers, right? So they might be considered underlays to you and I, but to the player, they're happy with that. But then the CRW is going to come in, and then they're going to just change the market however they see
because their program's going to go, all right, we're going to spend $100K on this race, and the program allocates. So if you don't know how these programs work in layman's terms, say they're
Ciaran, I don't know what happened to Ciaran. Ciaran froze.
That's your tin can on a string internet you have there, Frank.
It's not me, dude. I think it's you. I'm fine.
I have you're 1 bar. You finally went up to 2.
I was transmitting the whole time here. I don't know what happened. But anyway, you're back. What were you saying?
I was saying they're going to bet 100,000 into a race, and their program goes around. It can see what everyone's betting. Imagine playing poker with your cards like this. This is what the CRWs are doing, and they see what we all bet.
Yeah,
and every combination. So they bet every possible combination where they will be flat. They'll break even or lose less than the rebate. So no matter what the result is, they're ahead of the game with the rebate. And if they get a crazy price and they've milked the pools, they make even more. And we're playing with our cards like this.
That's actually a great analogy because, they see everybody's hand before they get to play their hand. Tony V, they're not all difficult to win. We've proven on this show. The pick 6 and pick 5s are difficult to win, but we have the late double and we have the pick 3, the late pick 3. So I would say that they're not. And we also now have the win pool with 2 minutes to post. So we have some pools and bets that are not that. I mean, every bet is difficult, but they're not as difficult as you may think. But thank you for your question. Pick 6s and pick 5s are very difficult. Mr. Guitar, good news. September handle only went down by 6%. They're pushing away regular retail bettors. Yeah, exactly. Agreed. Leah Brand, something egregious like modern game. Oh, my God, yeah. Let's not even talk about that.
Yeah.
You know that, right? The Godolphin Charlie Appleby horse who –
oh, yeah.
Everybody was like getting paid so handsomely on that horse. And they bet scratch the horse on the track, take it out of the wimp, and then they let the horse run anyway.
And then there was other scratches. So people who were like 3 or 4 horses deep had 2 other horses scratched, and they went onto a horse that they would never have bet in their life.
Yeah, it was a Danny Gargan horse in a Breeders' Cup turf race. I wouldn't have bet that horse in a million years, and that horse.
I think that's the first time I ever had heard booing at a track. I mean, it was rather shocking.
You're right, Leah. It seems that horse racing just can't get out of the way of itself, constantly tripping over itself.
Races going off at the same time, different places. I mean,
whatever they can do to screw it up, they screw it up.
So the All Turf Pick 3 paid $75 today, Frank. $75.90.
Okay. So
I spent 54 on that one, so I actually made some money, $21.
No, you didn't make anything. This is the last. Oh no, that was the last leg, right?
Yeah, the last
Oh,
race
okay.
8 was,
All right. So you hit it. Good.
and that was that was what kind of a price in the first leg. That's kind of, I'm disappointed in the pays today.
Well, I wasn't very enthusiastic about this card, so the fact that we're up to bat to make a little bit of money isn't the worst thing in the world. We talked about playing that, doing a little video for that all-turf pick 3 today. Decided against it because I just didn't think the races were all that interesting, but we'll look at it again on Sunday, and maybe we'll have a little fun with that. Anything funny going on in the win pool here, Ciaran? Any action we need to think about in terms of maximizing your opinion on this 3 at 3 to 5?
I'm losing money on my pick 3 again, which is embarrassing. That's twice in a row hitting the pick 3 and losing money. The pick 4 is paying squat, so I don't think I want to. I just want to collect my money on either the 2 or the 3 winning and go home with a profit on the day is what I'm looking at. Save the money for tomorrow. Actually, I was doing I'll send the DTL crew who are on our list my picks tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to tell it now so you cannot claim it because I've not read your write-up. There's a Seraphim horse tomorrow, 30 to 1. And I'm like, I actually like the horse, but then my note said, I'm going to pick this one so I can talk smack to Frank when he wins at a huge price.
Which race?
I'll have to look now. I just need him to be what was yours? 57 to 1? I need him to go off at like 58 to 1. And everything will be.
Because I already did it.
All right.
I already did it. My write-up's already posted.
Let me see which race it is.
Yeah, find out. Let's see if we're on the same horse. Because I do remember vaguely making a case for a horse.
Race 10 tomorrow. Smart Monique, 30 to 1. Carmona. Here's what I wrote down. Carmona, so I can beat Frank. Second power, big closing kick, last out going shorter. Second off the layoff, 30 to 1. And it's a race where long shots win. So I was like, yes.
Maybe she can run on late for a small slice. X.
And it might actually go like that because Lady Gregory's in there. And I'm like, okay, why is this one the favorite? I thought it was a weird race. But it might be another one where I don't like a favorite and it smokes everyone.
Yeah, horse is not impossible. I liked others in that race, but will need a pace meltdown. Terry had a question about the Breeders' Cup betting challenge. Yeah, without getting into the weeds too much, it's a live bankroll contest. You have to play a certain number of Breeders' Cup races over the course of 2 days. Win, place, show, exacta, trifecta, and daily doubles. And what I was referring to is that a lot of players try to hammer double combinations in order to move up the leaderboard. So, on a normal day, they might only bet $100 double. On Breeders' Cup, they're betting $1,000 double because there's enough liquidity in the market to do that. And
this year is weird because football took precedence. I mean, the Del Mar Turf, I think, is at 2:30 in the afternoon here, and the Classic is at 3:30. Like, all because of football. NBC. The TV schedule is all messed up. Again, horse racing can't get out of the way of itself. Why would they have like the biggest, best race? And not only that, but this year's Classic is probably one of the best classics, arguably of all time. I mean, like, it's just going to be ridiculous if all these horses stay healthy. And it's going to get buried on the undercard. Tony V, doubles and pick threes are not retail. No, they're not, but the ones we play are. So you are correct, Tony V. The rolling doubles and the rolling pick threes throughout the day are not. They're normal 24 takeout. What is it? 24% to 30 or something? Yeah, like 23.68, something like that. But the $3 late pick 3 at Santa Anita and Del Mar and the $5 late double, which is what this show is all about, 15% takeout, retail friendly. I'm not saying that the CRWs can't come in the pool, but it's really not worth it for them unless they see a major inefficiency in the market. Because we can see what they're doing as well. Right. So we can see what they're doing. We can see what they're doing, and we can see what they did by looking at what they hammered in the previous race. And that's like, if you were to take anything from this show, you should use the double pools and the information out there to see who's a legit favorite in this race and the next race based off the previous race, because you can see where the money's going, what the odds are. And sometimes you might see one where a horse is 2-1 on the will pay and he's 6-1 as you're sitting there wondering if you should be betting him, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. We have the information. And the only CRWs are only getting involved in the $5 late double is if they look at the market and they see an inefficiency. And then they will play the combination that they like. They can't spread their money around and manipulate the market like they do in the exacta and trifecta pools because it's a 15% takeout. The lower the takeout, the less rebate they get. On a 23% takeout, they probably get 10% rebate.
Yep.
15% takeout, they're probably getting 0 rebate because the track can't afford to pay them because they're making less money off the handle. I know it sounds complicated, but if you stick to the $3 late double, the $3 late pick 3, the $5 late double at Santa Anita and Del Mar, and if you want to play a pick 5, make sure it's the early pick 5.
I don't play the late pick 5.
14% takeout.
Even if I do the research for the late pick 4, Frank, I'm actually kind of stubborn and I have a single to start it. I still won't pay it. You know, I'm like, I'm not playing it. I'll play more on the double or pick 3. I'm just not. I want the low takeouts.
Yeah, or you could play it if you have a super strong opinion and you're going to whack it 20, 30 times. But gone are the days where you can play, you know, a $1 pick 4 and make 30,000. It's just never going to happen.
Nope.
Terry, yes. Remember to like and tip your handicap. Yeah, Ciaran, we won't name names because we don't want to, you know, embarrass anyone or anonymous donor, let's say. But we got our first tip on Sunday, and thank you. Shout out to the person who tipped us. I know you had a very nice day, made close to $1,000. Probably mostly your stuff, maybe a little bit of our stuff, but it was very generous. Thank you very much.
He was probably feeling sad for us because we spent so much money on that pick 4. $240 caveman. What did it end up paying? 90, 46, 48 twice.
Yeah, we had it for $1, so I think we ended up getting 90 back or something. But yeah, you're right. You know what? That was a pity tip.
Yep,
that was a pity tip. But you know what? We'll take it. We'll take it. Thank you very much. And yes, Terry, of course. Thank you. Invite your friends. The more we grow this show, the more we grow the retail player-friendly handle, the more the tracks pay attention, the more new opportunities we might have. So it's a grassroots effort, guys. It takes a village.
We got a lot of guys who are really mad at Keeneland, so come out to Del Mar, come out to Santa Anita. You know, they're treating the retail guys much better here. Yeah,
I mean, you have a choice. Sit at home and stew and vent on Twitter, or put your money where your mouth is and play in pools where you have an advantage. I mean, it's just silly. Like the Keeneland fatigue is just weary. Every time I go on, the first 30 posts I see, oh, this horse went from 3-1 to 2. This has got to stop. This is.
But I will say, us even talking about that, if we had said that 2 months ago, we'd be saying if there's a track it would never happen to, it would be Keeneland, and the amount of negative PR damage they did on this, siding with the CAWs, kind of shocking to me.
Might be irreversible, Keeneland, because now if SoCal wants to get aggressive about it,
yeah, they could really hang it. Yep.
Yeah. And, and I give Del Mar a ton of credit because they shut off the CRW 2 weeks into the meet. They shut them off with 2 minutes of post in the win pool. And that's not something like, Del Mar does not usually move very quickly. And a lot of times the industry will look to Keeneland before they act. Del Mar was proactive, and they were the first to act, outside of New York. And I give them a lot of credit, and I give Santa Anita a lot of credit for, keeping that the same. So here, let's talk about this last race real quick.
So Frank, quick stat on this race. If 3 does not win, 40% of the time, bomber. Long shot. So I mean, the betting's saying that as well.
Dan H. and both Leah, Brandon, also the Alpine Firster. That's the 7 we talked about. Like I said, if this race were 5.5, or even 6 furlongs, I would pick a Firster. I mean, I have this horse on my Sabre ticket. Ryan Hansen is terrific with young horses. The horse cost $100,000. Yaupons are running off the screen precociously. Horse has a massive chance, but except for Bob Baffert, like it's really hard for other trainers to have that conditioning.
Yeah.
6.5 is tough for a first-time starter, especially a 2-year-old filly. That's all I'm saying.
It's usually a test. We have experience because Arrakis, our horse that won last week, after he had all those issues and went to the bench, Phil sent him out 6.5 that first race and led till deep stretch. And then, you know what I mean? Just not racing came over,
Right.
but we cut him back. And now, it was maybe we'll win, but we're going to learn a lot out of this race.
Yeah, he got so much out of that race, right?
Yep.
I mean,
Different
it looked
horse.
for a second like he might win, but then that extra half furlong caught up with him off the long layoff. And that's very similar to the way I see firsters. I mean, Bob Baffert can win at 6.5 and 7, but he's one of the few first out trainers who can do it. I love this Scurvy Tooth. I'm going to start making this our tagline on X, Ciaran. Look at this. Support the tracks that support you.
Exactly. Yep.
Scurvy Tooth, MVP of the show right there. I love that.
If you want to complain about the tracks, the CAWs, just turn all your action to the low takeout, pick 3 and double. I mean, talk with your money. Don't just walk away. Bet these races. And when they start seeing these pools go up and up and up, maybe the tracks will start going, okay.
Yeah. If they see the late double pool go up and the exacta pool start going down, maybe they'll start to pay attention. All right, they're almost fully loaded, so we're going to get ready to watch this race. But Scurvy 2, thank you so much. Here's a free tip for you. More vitamin C, my friend. Prevent that scurvy. More vitamin C. Yeah, Hansen is terrific with firsters. I'm all about it. I'm just worried about the distance. That's all. All right, so Ciaran, you're 2-3?
Yeah.
I think I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Let me see. Frank is 1, 3, 4, 6, 7. All right, they're off. Good luck, everybody.
Those two have sped clear.
Wow. 6 and 7 in a match race.
Run down the back stretch. Then comes Angel Baby, matching strides with the favorite, 1.5 lengths clear of Joe Barb, and Specialty is outside of her. It's another 3 back to Cosmic Heat. Can't say that is next. And the trailer is Una Murata.
22-1.
Moving into the far turn.
They're going fast.
Kala in front by 1/2 length. Mimi's Memory at the rail in second. Debbie's Gal in between and Angel Baby. These 4 now separated by just 3 lengths as Mimi's Memory is losing ground steadily around the far turn. Now asked to respond and holds that second position as Debbie's Gal.
Come on, JJ.
Alongside of her. Cosmic Heat in the lime colors is getting into the race.
Oh.
Angling to the outside in front of Can't Say That.
2-3. One of these ones. Come on.
And digging in is Tokala. Has it by a neck. Debbie's Gal right up alongside. Mimi's Memory was in tight down at the rail. And there's a clear shot for Cosmic.
Come on, Cosmic. Where's the line?
Confidently handled to Debbie's Gal. And at the rail, Mimi's Memory. Cosmic Heat. Cosmic Heat.
Wow.
Whoa.
Firster.
Yeah.
When does that ever happen? Never. But you have it, right? Good for you.
I did. I couldn't, Fresher, the way he's riding and Urton red hot. It was one of those things where I was okay tossing the stat,
Good call. What do you have here?
What's funny is it was only a $10 thing, but it pays as much as the other ones, I think.
Well, yeah. No, that's why we looked at it, right? I mean, you said this was a maybe bet for you.
Yes. I wanted to see the will pays and whatnot. So,
Ciaran, that's why we do the show.
It covered the bet,
That's why we do the show.
And even Debbie would not have gotten second, right? Who was second?
That last half furlong was difficult for most of these horses. You got Peter Urton, first-time starter.
Mimi's Memory.
Done.
I would say out of this race, you know what I mean? I would definitely be making notes on Mimi's Memory next out. That horse hang all the way. And I mean, if Cosmic had not swooped up like that, we would have had number 6 winning that race pretty easily. And they went fast for this one, I think.
So while they're making it official here, Ciaran, one more time, how did you end up on a Peter Urton first-time starter?
Well, Trainer Urton is on fire.
Correct.
Bad stats, and I just thought Freshu and him are winning 33%. You know what I mean? So they're connected right now. He's riding Urton's live horses, and he's got a huge ROI in the last 2 months with Urton. So whenever I see him hop on, even though some of the other stats are like no, I was like, I kind of got to use them. You know?
No, we talk about this all the time, right? Some stats are more important than others, and ultimately you have to decide which information is more important to you.
And that also helps knowing the trainer. Like some of these trainers, like we'll talk about them. We're like, yeah, this guy's 0 for a million. And we're like, well, yeah, he's always probably going to be 0 for a million. But some of these other trainers, when we go, well, Urton's 0 for this and O'Neill's 0 for that, we already know that won't last. It might be just where was their horses racing at Del Mar late in the meet? You know what I mean? Are they going to come in later? Right. Blah, 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 blah.
So, you know Ciaran, you had to make a decision, right? On one hand, you have Urton's overall stats that say he's terrible with first-time starters, right? That's on that's one side of the argument. The other side is, well, Urton's on fire. He's 33%. He's sending out all live horses, and when he puts Freshu up, I know the horse is live. So I'm going to ignore the body of work because this is a unique situation. Is that correct? Am I understanding that?
Absolutely. Yep. That was it in a nutshell.
Well, good job. That's another double winner for you.
Double.
Look at this. I'm alive to 4 horses. 1, 3, 4, 6, 7. Well, what did I finish? 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th? Behind you? What did it come back here? Let's see. The 6. I had the 6.
It was 133.50, so 268. Not bad. It covered my pick 3 that I lost again. And the double covered the other double bets. So I spent I think I spent 140.
Look at my horses run 2, 3, and 4.
You should have done a trifecta box there, Frank, but then the CAWs would have eaten you alive because they probably had it.
Ciaran has the winner with the horse I don't have, and my horses run 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Story of my life, but that's why we do the show. But you know what, Ciaran? This is actually a very important point. This morning, you were all about the 3, right? You're like, if you look at your main bets here. 3, everything's alive to the 3. Everything's alive to the 3. But in the back of your head, you're like, you know what? I like the 2 a little bit in the last race, but I want to see what's going on. Is the horse taking money? Is this? And you came back on this show.
When I do my notes, you know what I mean? I only had 2 horses listed for this race. So it was one and my notes were maybe a small double depending on when Will pays. You know what I mean? Right. If the Will pays up, I wouldn't. But it was worth it. You know what I mean?
Or what you were alive to, whatever it was. But that's the point of the show, right? You showcased how horse playing really works. You made a decision in real time based on real information. So if we had done this show this morning,
we would not have had this bet. I might have mentioned it perhaps as maybe a maybe bet, but then how many people would have done it just based on a maybe,
Maybe would have had it.
Well, we got another double win. The pays were still a little iffy, but
All right. Well, good job. Here's some praise. Nice, Leah. 1, 2, 4 with 2. The saver bet comes through. How about that?
Which is why we do the live show. We're going to pivot, even when we're, you know what I mean? We'll pivot if we've got other ideas.
Nice play, Ciaran. There you go, Leah. Yeah, Cosmic Heat isn't that they don't lose first time out. Yeah, did you have any pedigree stats? Because I could see right here, 21% debut sire. That's incredible.
The sire's 22. Yeah, so that was another thing. And I usually don't look at that usually, you know what I mean? But it was another it is kind of interesting. It was 22% sire first-time starters. Dam has 1 winner from 2 starters.
Right. And
then as of when I printed this thing out in the last 2 weeks, Urton from 8 races is 4 wins in 2 seconds. So, I mean, 75% at the line. So, I mean, and the dude's on fire, you know?
No, that was incredible. I mean, your main bet lost, but you still managed to have your saver bet win and make some money. Leah and everybody else out there, if you guys have any pedigree angles or sires or dams you want to mention anytime on the show, please let us know. I think Ciaran and I will both be the first to admit that pedigree is not really a strong part of our handicapping toolbox. But, you know, in this case, the Smacksfield stat was yet another piece of information to help you get on the horse.
Well, Frank, I have to call it early. I apologize.
Oh, yeah,
I got to go see San Diego State beat up on UCLA here. So.
All right, real quick. Yes, we will be back on Sunday, Dan H.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Congrats to Ciaran and everybody else who hit it. Frank's going home in trouble. Kieran's going to the Aztec game. Take us out, Ciaran.
All right, thanks for watching, everyone. If you don't hit the late double, be like Frank and
go home in trouble. I mean, this is like par for the course now. All right, next time. Thanks for watching. Support the tracks who support you. Out.